Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today was quite a day. I spent all day in the garden doing finishing touches. If you are new here, welcome. We are growing in a small urban backyard in Zone 7, East Coast, Delaware Valley. We have hard as a rock clay soil, and because of that, we choose to grow in raised beds or containers. So if that interests you, keep watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I do actually pay attention to the suggestions for what to grow in Zone 7 and encourage everybody to do the same. However, a friend of mine from years ago when I first started gardening gave me a tip for our area, which was have everything in the garden by Mother's Day. I have stuck to that recommendation for 15 years. So this video was actually recorded the weekend before Mother's Day. And because of our fluctuating weather patterns, and because this weekend happened to be pretty good as far as temperatures go, I took advantage of it. So I spent 9 hours in the garden getting trellises up, getting nearly every plant planted. Now, I do still have some in the greenhouse, as you'll see, but I did the best I could with what I have. When you're growing in limited spaces, there is a fine line that you have to watch out for because you want to get the maximum yield possible. But if you plant too much, then you run the risk of insect issues, disease issues, and just stunted growth because the plant's roots may entangle and things like that. I think that I'll be okay, and I am praying for an abundant harvest this year. So just come with me as we take a little perusal around the yard. It's getting really tall, and it's looking so good. Lemonade, raspberry. We're getting promising views here, guys. Beautiful. Here is our cherry tree. No idea why it's leaning like the Tower of Pisa. We need to get a stake or something there. It's true. We have more foliage on it this year than last year. A lot more, probably like double. We did have flowers, and when the cold snap came through, they all fell. It's time to harvest, and I gotta say, this may be the earliest that I've ever had a harvest from my garden. So watch and just take a look-see at what we got. Before I head in the house and cover all this up, I am going to harvest some of this chard. This plant is actually, looks like it wants to go to seed. This way this stalk is just much higher than everything else. And if it does, that's absolutely fine. I'll save the seeds for next year. But I'm going to cut some of this, a lot of this. When it comes to plants like this, I cut the outer leaves, leave some in the core. It is, I don't even know what time it is. It's around dinner time. I've been out here since 8 a.m. because my philosophy is and has always been to have as much as possible. I'm just getting most of these away from the ground. I want everything planted by Mother's Day. And it is the week before Mother's Day, weekend before Mother's Day next weekend. So, and that has been my philosophy since I started gardening. This year, yeah, this plant wants to bolt for sure. And keep in mind, today is only like, cut this whole branch off. Today is only, I don't even know if it reached 60 today. I think it did. It's like 60 or 61 today. But so I don't know why this plant is acting like it wants to bolt. But that's fine. But yeah, so as much as I could get planted today, I wanted to get done. So I stick to my schedule as close as possible to my schedule of having everything planted by Mother's Day. This is a lot of chard. Luckily, my aunt and my grandma like chard because it is well, we use it as similar to spinach, but some people say it's an acquired taste. Now I've never seen this between here. This was a leaf. This is like, I don't know. So I've never seen it look like this, and there's chard growing in between, like it like a sucker kind of grows in a tomato. I've never seen that before. It's weird. But some of this chard was hitting up against, and that's pretty good amount of space here, but hitting up against the row covering. So my bucket might not be big enough for the harvest. Thank you, Lord, for every bit of it. I don't know if you can chard. If anybody knows that, let me know. And I think I'm going to end up, this is actually, like, that's two plants. This looks to be two plants as well. One, two, three, four plants. I may end up killing this one because this one is just really getting tall. Then we'll go over to this behemoth. Got some pretty sizable leaves on here too. This is going to give us a good amount of food. I wish cucumbers were ready. And green beans, and oh, I'm just so excited. I'm anxious. The season to get started. All right, I'm going to stop there. And I'm anticipating, like I said, the way they're looking, I'm anticipating that they're going to bolt, especially when that warm weather hits. And I have no complaints. It's given me, let me show you. That's my harvest. I cannot complain, especially when I didn't plant any seeds. This is all volunteer from last year. So we're going to get this off and onto my deck. Okay, up on the deck, I'm going to move out of the way so you can see. We have celery, parsley, lots. Oh, I do succession planting, and I also do, I use living mulch, what I call living mulch. So this is all about that living mulch and succession planting, but plenty of red kale, red Russian kale. Uh, I have a lettuce. I believe it's the Yeticule lettuce and parsley, and this is cucumber plant. It's doing pretty good. And it looks like I might have a little bit of echinacea or something planted down there, but nothing here is really ready to be harvested. You could theoretically harvest the outer leaves of that lettuce plant, but I'll let it get bigger. And this is what I think may be echinacea. Not sure. Over here in my second Vigoro raised bed, I have more of that red romaine. I just planted a cluster over here, and then as you can see, I have more individual plants spaced out here. Notice how these are much bigger than the ones that are in that pot. Even though the pot has holes that goes right down into the soil, nature knows best, right? This is a broccoli plant back here. Over here, we have Georgia collards that are looking phenomenal. I've had dickens of a time the past 2 years because of the white cabbage butterfly, but I keep this covered with insect netting. The time I plant them, that is a secret. The time you plant them, cover them. This here, I have a plant down there. I don't know what that is. No clue. I just left it there. This is an Asian. Oh, a spider in there. This is an Asian mustard green that I decided to plant, and it's doing phenomenal. And I'm actually going to harvest a few of these leaves because why not, right? Especially with this growing in such a small space. I don't want any one plant to take up more room than it has to. Now, I've never grown this green before. Now, I do know regular mustard greens, but I've never grown this Asian mustard green before. So I'm going to go and look up some recipes, see how to best cook it. Now, if this cooks up like regular mustard, then what I will do is, because mustard greens to me is an acquired taste. It's a little bitter. These should not, well, when I say these, I mean the collards. And if I had some kale, I would not expect it to be bitter because it hasn't been hot yet. But typically, they get very bitter, greens do, when it gets hotter. In addition, of course, they're more likely to bolt. But if these, like I say, if these are more like regular mustard greens, then I'm going to go ahead and freeze them because we like our mustard to be mixed with collard. So, yeah, don't worry. I'm not going to kill the plant. I always leave a few leaves to ensure that it continues to grow. But there we go. We have a nice harvest of greens. Next, I think I'm going to let those Georgia collards. It's really not that much. That, that's not even going to get you a bunch of greens. But just to ensure they grow, I'm going to, because I can just saute these up real quick tonight. I think that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll saute them with the mustards. Now I grow greens in this spring. I tried to. Um, I was very discouraged the past few years just because I couldn't seem to win against that white cabbage moth. Knowing better, I knew better. I know better. I knew that you have to protect those plants with the insect netting, and I didn't do that. So it was totally my fault, but I still wasn't happy. I'm happy I cut those back because down there, these are spinach, like your regular spinach. It's a hybrid spinach, but they're not getting any sun. See them back there? They're not getting any sunlight because all these greens were shading it. So, um, oh, we have something going to seed. Let me show you what some things look like when they go to seed. See in the middle there? Yep, going to seed. lettuce, lettuce back here. Um, this is also, I'm sorry, this is also a collard, Morse heading collard, just like the one we just cut back. I'll cut not that many leaves on this one, a few off. I really like to get the most tender leaves, and that is going to be early fall. I'm sorry, early spring and through the fall when the temperatures are cooler. And one weed, this, telling you, that's how long it takes to the weed this bed. That one weed. Okay. This is bok choy, I think. Because I planted bok choy and I also planted tatsoi. So I'm looking here. Oops, I just broke one of them off. This is bok choy. My husband has been anxious. Look at how beautiful white it is down there. My husband has been anxious to eat this bok choy. And I think over here, let's see. Okay, clearly I had basil planted in there. That didn't grow. But I am going to cut, this plant is really big. This bok choy plant. This is the one that's going to seed. So I'm actually going to pull this one out. I thought I was going to pull it out. I like to kind of leave that is a pretty plant, y'all. A really, really pretty plant. Nice and healthy looking. And this is going to be just enough for, this is going to be just enough for one meal for my husband, because I don't eat bok choy like that, but he loves it. So this is great. Now we're going to, look, we are slowly getting a nice healthy pile of stuff here. I got my collards under there. I thank you for joining me in the garden today, and I hope you come back for more. Please, if you enjoy this video, hit a like. If you have any comments, drop one down below, and hit that notification bell. Please subscribe to this channel so that you can help this small channel grow. Until next time that we meet in the garden, happy gardening, take care, and God bless.